Hello YouTube, it's me KG and welcome to the video. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you for continuing to support. And if you are new, nice to meet you. I post on Saturdays about my artistic hobbies, daily life, vlogs, and videos like these where I talk about how I'm in my 20s and I just don't really know what's going on. If that sounds like your kind of content, please subscribe so I can welcome you back next week. Today we are doing a TMI. TMI is a series on my channel where I get into the nitty-gritty and really just talk freely about a topic that us 20-somethings can relate to. I often don't have a clear conclusion or a pretty bow to wrap on a topic. I'm just being real and hoping that we can share in our struggles together. Some people might find these things kind of taboo to talk about, especially if I don't have some clean, clear-cut conclusion for it. So they might think that this is a bit too much information, but I don't think it's too much. I think there's more information we should talk about. Hence the title, TMI. Today's topic is feeling lost or unsure about my career path. In my career thus far, a lot has gone wrong and I've settled for a lot. So if we go all the way back to my high school days, back then I was gaining my visual arts seal for my diploma, which was just a pretty little sticker that said like, I do art, by the way. So I was working on getting my visual arts seal, doing art that my teacher would get into gallery shows and competitions for me. I sold a couple of pieces, just, you know, painting was my whole shtick. But I knew that as an adult, I would need money to survive, and that whole starving artist rhetoric is really alive and well, so I just thought trying to be a painter wasn't going to work for me. So that was my first settling into deciding that I would study animation at college. It felt like a happy medium because I wanted to be a storyboard artist, so I would still get to draw for my job every day. I'd get to tell cool stories. I get to share my art with tons of people when they saw the movies or TV shows that I was a part of. I get to create just something really cool and that I could really believe in. So I was going to study animation and become a storyboard artist. And so I, couldn't go to art school, another settling because of money, the bane of my existence at this point. But I did, go to a local school that had an animation program, studied and did what I needed to do, allegedly. But when it came time to apply, for internships and for jobs, I had the same experience where I would apply locally and then eventually spread to like US-wide and then eventually spread to worldwide and small companies and little whatever, anything that I could find at all. And after hundreds and hundreds of applications, when it came to, each semester, especially summer semesters for internships, semester after school, just summer, after college, after graduation, all that time, hundreds and hundreds of applications, no interviews, no nothing. I had my resume looked at by recruiters. I had my portfolio reviewed by multiple people. I worked on new portfolio pieces. I tried is the best thing I could say because I really did try, but I was never able to be hired. And the whole point of studying animation was to make money. It's really hard to make money when you don't have a job. And so thus began my second big settling into my last job as a graphic designer. I wanted to do animation, but I couldn't. And, I did a graphic design internship in high school, actually. And I discovered that graphic design, it kind of bored me, and I didn't think I wanted to do it long term. But of course, that was all that was available to me. So we settled again, and I, got into graphic design, and I just started to think, well, maybe, I can pivot this into motion design. They seem somewhat related. They're both design. Maybe I can pivot into UX. But then it was, oh, you need to learn this program, and to download the program is hundreds of dollars a month that you don't have. Or, oh, you need to take this course, and, after the course, you'll have a certification, which is less than a college degree. And since your college degree already couldn't get you where you were trying to go, is it really worth getting this certification? Or, oh, you could go and get your master's, but since you can't really get the same scholarships for that, it's going to be tens of thousands of dollars of debt. And again, undergrad didn't get you where you were trying to go, so I just really didn't trust that the master's was going to get me where I was trying to go. And it just felt like everybody wanted me to waste my money and waste my time and not end up with a job at the end, especially not the job that I wanted because I had already settled past it twice. And then So those of you who don't know, haven't seen the video, I got laid off from that job. Love to see it. So then we enter my current job where I am sort of settling again. When I got laid off, I was applying to mostly graphic design and motion design positions, trying to, make that happen, thinking that that was what I wanted, even though reading a lot of those job descriptions, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this every day. Like, I'm not feeling excited. I'm not feeling invigorated. I'm not feeling anything. I tried, going again back to animation. I was going to networking events. I was trying to apply, trying to meet higher ups, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, why is it so much work to get one single job? The job is there. Y'all are hiring. I don't understand why I can't have it anywhere. And again, hundreds and hundreds of applications, getting my cover letters reviewed, making sure they're good, getting recommendations on LinkedIn, all this stuff. Just to end up in a contract position, doing work that I'm not really familiar with. I don't really know if I'm going to like it. I kind of have to get a little more acclimated. This week was my first week, so I just need more time to figure that out. But getting contract work. So I don't have full-time benefits. I don't have full-time hours. I don't have any guaranteed hours. Next week, for example, my job has offered me one day, 7.5 or less hours of payment. And then after that, who knows? Bills? We're not sure about all of that. Good luck. All we got for you is one day. So I'm just in another precarious situation, and it feels like my whole career has been precarious situations that I didn't even want to be in, that I was settling for because I couldn't get what I actually wanted. But we just kept going down the list. I feel like maybe my life is just going to keep going down the list until eventually I'm an accountant. And there's probably going to be someone out there who studies accounting and loves math and really, really wants to be an accountant, but they're not going to get that job because that's what they want. And in this world, you don't get what you want, you get what you don't want. So they're going to end up being a storyboard artist and director for animation, and I'm going to end up being an accountant. It feels like everyone else has a very linear, very clear, easy career path. And I'm the only one who's struggling with this. When you go online and you hear people talk about this, it seems like everybody's struggling. But it can genuinely just feel like you alone have this problem. Just you. Just you. Just me. Just us. We're the only ones dealing with this. And I don't know. Like, if you look at any other career, like accounting, for example, I love to grab accounting because it just seems made in heaven. You go to school, you get your little finance degree, your math degree, your accounting degree, your whatever you want to do. Maybe you get a CPA certification, but you don't really need all of that. Maybe you have an internship, but if you can't get one, no problem. You can just go be a bank teller. No qualifications for that, apparently. So that'll be relevant experience that you can just get easily. Go be a bank teller, go have an internship, whatever what have you. And then go be an accountant at literally any company anywhere. And every company has a marketing team. Every company needs a graphic designer, but I couldn't get hired. But you, as an accountant, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Law, undergrad, law school, pass the bar, get the firm, be a, associate or whatever, move up the ranks, become partner, open a firm or whatever. It's all very clear, lined up, straight, easy to do, ready to go. And it seems like it's very simple for them because everybody's LinkedIn is popping off, and mine is just months and months of looking for work. You know what I'm saying? It's even like non-linear paths or paths that are like kind of like placeholders, like things that people don't see themselves doing long term or forever, but that they're still doing, like going back to school or staying in school, or like going to the military. A lot of people who join the military, the Navy, whatever, don't really want to be there at all, and especially don't want to be there like their whole working lives. But they're cool doing their little 4-year contracts so they can get some money for school, or so that they can get some money to start their business, or so that they can get veteran benefits for the rest of their life, or whatever the case may be. It just seems like everything is like made in heaven for everybody else, and I'm the only one. Like, it's killing. Everyone has their straight and steady path to career success and financial prosperity. And I feel like I don't have this clear path because I know a lot of what I don't want to do, But I end up getting confused on what I do want. And when I pick something, is it like, is this actually what I want? Is this what I need? Is this what I'm settling for? Is this what society has told me I should want? Is this what I am convincing myself I should want because it's what's in front of me? Like, there's never any feeling of, this is where I need to go. This is how I get there. And I'm on that path. I never have that clear trajectory. And I feel like in my career thus far, in my school life, and my working life, and everything, I feel like I've just been meandering around trying to figure it out, but I just don't even know where I'm going. So I don't know what direction to even begin walking in. But there is one thing I do know, and that is that I would love it if you could engage with this video. It would really help me out. So if you go down below, leave a little comment, let me know if maybe you're feeling some of the things that I am saying. You could also leave a like, share the video with a friend. You don't even have to actually share it. You could just click like share and then copy the link, and YouTube will think that you shared it. You don't even have to actually send it to somebody. Or better yet, you can just subscribe so that I can see you next Saturday, because I'm planning to upload a video every week in May. So I'll see you guys next week. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and click some of the buttons and links below my video and engage, because I would really appreciate that. It would really help out me and my channel. And honestly, it would help both of us out, because you would get to engage with the community and stay caught up with me and have some more fun on this channel in the future. At this point, I don't even know what I want. I don't know if I have a dream job, or if I do have one, I don't know if I'm heading in the direction of it, because I'm clueless. Basically, I'm clueless. And I'm caught in this, like, in this want for, um, financial success, like just general like prestige and that level of success, validation from my parents and my peers, feeling like I've made it, having that traditional societal expectation of success and achievement, and being able to, attract a mate, attract friends, get my parents' approval, have my own like peace of mind, and just generally please everyone around me into thinking that I'm like a good, worthy person by having this super cool, super profitable job. But that like contrasts with this simultaneous desire to be fulfilled, to enjoy every day, to not dedicate myself to working, to, work part-time, retire early, try freelancing, do things for fun, to not be in this hustle grind set mindset, because I just really honestly only have one life to live, and I'd rather enjoy it than spend it all grinding for somebody's company. To feel like I can do multiple things, because I do like multiple things. And part of my problem with tying myself to one career path is that, well, what if I want to do something else? Can I not like two things, three things? Is that illegal? It just, wanting the validation and stability that a traditional job path, such as like designer, um, lead designer, what sorry, associate art director, lead art director, creative director at super big Fortune 500 company. I want the stability and success that allows, and the prestige and everything, but I also want the enjoyment of, like, I traveled a bunch in my 20s, being able to say that, being able to say I have such fulfilled and whole and nurtured relationships with my friends and family, being able to say, like, I love what I do. I get to create every day, and it's fun, and it's not just something that has to be done because that's my job and we got to do this campaign or whatever, but because I kind of like doing it. And yes, it still has to be done, and like that intersection is never going to go away. I'm never going to find something that I just like freely and that there's no pressure. But at the very least, even through the pressure, it's still what I would want to do with at least some of my time. Just wanting to be happy with my career path seems to be really in the way of what a career path is supposed to be. It's also that my failed, like, previous attempts leave me not knowing. I think I would really love to be a gallery artist, and it's something I'm more leaning into now that I'm in this position where I have to find multiple streams of income and suddenly be a freelancer. I think that selling gallery art would be fun, but it's something that I gave up in the past because I'm not very good at marketing myself. Similarly, I closed my Etsy for a couple of months because I'm not very good at marketing myself, and I think very seriously about reopening it. And I mean, what would be the point? Just to waste more money, waste more time, get my expectations and my hopes up again, just to end up in the same situation of it not really being viable and not really making sense for what it costs. What would be the point? You know? And, graphic design. I could try to get back into that. It's not like that's my biggest passion in life, and I've already been forced out of it once. So why should I go back? Motion design is something I thought I could do if I had to keep on down the design path, and that could lead me to being an art or creative director or a design director somewhere, and that could get me that prestige side. But I've applied to so many junior, associate, and regular motion designer jobs, and I have gotten interviewed for 0 of them. So it's like, why go through making more portfolio pieces, trying to prove myself even more, trying to make something happen in my company so I can have another thing to put on my resume about it, just to continue to be ignored. There's so many, animation is the same story where I created all this work, got a whole fucking degree, did everything that y'all told me to do, and got completely ignored by every studio, every program, every little freelance opportunity, everything. And it's like, how many times can you keep getting back up again after you fail, after you fall down? At a certain point, it's like, maybe I'm just supposed to accept that I'm not good at this or that this isn't made for me and move on. And I get confused and I end up not knowing, did I give up on that because I really didn't want to do it? Or did I give up on that because it wasn't working out and it just leaves me feeling bitter and sour? Do I really think I'm not good at that? Or have I just not succeeded at it yet? But if I kept trying, maybe we could get somewhere. It's adding extra layers of confusion to the whole thing because I don't know. Again, I just don't know what I want because what I want keeps evading me. So then it's like, well, do I still want that? I don't fucking know. I don't know half the time if what I'm doing is what I genuinely want to be doing, what I'm settling for because what I really wanted to be doing wasn't going to work. If it's what I feel like I need because I just need money and stability and need to be doing something, so I'm just going to do what I need to be doing. Or if I genuinely know what I want. I don't know. And that makes it really hard to build a career when I don't know what I want, where it is, or how to get there. And then, being a young person, there's this pressure to plan for and, always be walking towards your future and always be seeing some level of success with that. In that, you go to fucking Thanksgiving dinner. And your parents are gonna ask you, what's going on in your career? How's the job? What's good? And the answer is, I don't know. Nothing's good. Leave me alone. But that's not what you're allowed to say. And, maybe your high school reunion is coming up, or maybe you're just seeing all your friends make moves on Instagram, or maybe you have personal goals. If you really want to take a big trip, or you really want to buy a house, or you really want to, get to a certain point, but you just can't because what is even going on? What is happening? We don't know. I don't know. Do y'all know? I don't know what's happening. And I'm really tired of working junior roles. I'm in another junior role. It's my second one out of 2. I shouldn't be that tired of it, but I feel like it's trapping me in this junior role box because how am I ever going to get to a regular position? If I'm always working junior and they have this silly little thing with experience where they're like, well, you don't have enough experience to do this. And it's like, well, I'm never going to get experience in a regular role. I never get experience in a regular role. Do you see what I'm saying? Ooh, experience is a whole nother topic. Like, they want you. Have you guys seen these job applications these days? Have you seen them? Because they describe senior employees, like very senior employee. They want 10 plus years of experience. They want 2, 3 degrees. They want certifications, expensive programs that you have to know. They want the moon, the stars, the sun, and the earth from you. And they are offering $20 an hour. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. And I feel like these jobs aren't real. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like it's companies making job postings that don't make any sense so that the people who actually have the qualifications that they ask for are senior employees. So they're going to see $20 an hour and they're not going to apply. And then the people who are juniors or, new to the career and would take $20 an hour are never going to be qualified because you asked for the sun, moon, earth, and stars. And so you get to have this job posting up that you never fill the position for, just like for funsies, for keeps, just to see what will happen. Just maybe it's a tax thing. I don't know. But it feels like I'm being grifted. It feels like I'm being scammed. I don't like being scammed. And I want y'all to leave me alone. And then there's my specific concerns with my current role, this new position. And it's very new. And so I'm sure that as I get into the job, as I work it, I will find the answers to all of these questions and it'll be fine. But again, there's that pressure to plan for the future. There's that pressure to know where you're going and what you're doing. I've never really been good at not having a plan and like playing it by ear or, taking it easy, going with the wind. That's never been my steez. So these concerns are constantly rolling around in my head. And it's number one, my job title is again junior. I don't want to be a junior employee anymore. I want to move up so that I can finally have some freaking options. Because the majority of jobs out there are not looking for juniors, they're looking for regular or senior employees, and I just want to be one so that I can get a freaking job. It's really annoying. I'm like really frustrated about this morning actually, because concern number 2 is that I'm not going to pay my bills. And I feel like it'll be fine. I feel like my bills will get addressed one way or another. I'm trying to do freelance work on the side. I could always go DoorDash if it really comes to it. I don't know that I could make enough money DoorDashing every week to pay me. I don't know, but like it is an option. I could get a part-time job at, the gym or whatever. I don't want to, and that's not a career. Like it feels like a step backwards, and I also don't want to do it. And it might get in the way of my current role, but like, what am I gonna do? I need to eat. So, like, there are ways I can make it happen. It's just really stressful and annoying because it feels hopeless. Like, I've spent all this time applying, finally get a role, and it's not good enough. And so it's like, well, this is the one I've gotten in months. Months. So what, I'm just supposed to keep applying for months and months and years and never get anywhere while I just coast in this position. And like my thing is, as long as I work 3 days a week, I should sort of, after taxes in a way, have enough money to get by, kind of. But next week they have offered me 1 day, maybe 2. They said they'd see, but so far it's 1 day. As I just said. So it's just like really stressing me out, honestly. Because I don't know what I'm going to do next week. Probably just DoorDash and try to get freelance clients. But again, if I couldn't, it took this fucking much work to get a basic job. Getting freelance clients feels like a shot in the dark. Yeah, I had to had to take out my memory card. It was full. But as I was saying, there's this thought of reopening my Etsy. And although that could be a nice source of like not that hard of work, semi-passive income, and like I could, get uploads on there, add some digital downloads, do some what's it called, drop shipping products, do like print on demand. I could make that something. It's just if nothing sells, what am I doing on there? And even if things sell, is it going to be enough to supplement my income? I'm continuing to apply to like contract, temporary, freelance roles, but those seem, I don't know, they don't really work with each other. It doesn't really make sense. Like, they'll want a freelancer, but they want you in office every day. And it's like, well, how am I going to do a half day every day and also freelance at other places? Like, it's just employers trying to get the most out of you without thinking about like the realistic aspect of you needing to live and eat and breathe air and stuff. It just doesn't, none of it makes any sense. So I don't want to be in the junior role, but I am. I don't know if I'm even going to make enough money from this job to pay my bills. And then there's also just like, I don't know if I'm going to end up liking this path, like the job title, the things that I'm doing. And if I don't like them, then like, it's just, it feels like a waste of time. It feels like whatever path I'm supposed to be on, I'm not on it. I'm running in the wrong direction. And by the time I get back to the path I'm supposed to be on, I'm just gonna be set back. I'm tired of being set back. Like, I just want to move forward. I just want to progress, and it feels like I'm not. It feels like I'm getting handed scraps and I'm taking whatever I can get. But I just want to feel like I'm going somewhere and like I have some leverage and some like tangible something. I just want to feel like I've gone somewhere. I'm going somewhere. I'm getting somewhere, and something is happening for me. But it's hard. These things are just really uncertain, and I overthink, and I'm 24, and it's a tough time. I decided I want to go on a birthday trip this year with my friends, and I hope I make enough money to save up for it. But right now, again, not making enough money for rent, so just feeling discouraged and stuck and confused. I'm trying to accept that it's okay to not know everything. You know, since 2020, the pandemic, life has obviously been very unpredictable. And it also doesn't help that 2020 was when I graduated college and left school. Whereas, you know, school compared to actual life is very linear, very clear, very predictable, very steps in the process, very straight path. Real life is a bit more all over the place. And then you throw a pandemic on top of that, that the country, the world still hasn't really snapped back from. Yeah, you're going to get a bit of chaos once you exit the school space. I feel like the fact that I don't really have all my ducks in a row kind of makes sense and is okay because, I mean, who does? You know, I can't predict anything at this point. You can't predict like where I'm gonna be next year because what's the market gonna look like? This freaking real estate market is making it impossible to do anything like on your own time. You kind of have to follow market trends a lot more than you had to in the past because shit is just so expensive, or it just makes so much sense to sell at a time that you can't you can't just chill right now. And I'm not gonna know what the law is even gonna be, what rights I will have or will not have. Like, everything is just constantly up in the air. And I'm just trying to get used to that and know that, like, at some point, things will be good for me. Trying to manifest that, believe in that, really ingrain that message into my psyche that things are good. I'm good, and I'm only getting better. And I may not know the end result, but I know it's gonna be great. So why worry about it? That is what I'm really trying to accept and fill myself with. And if any of you guys have any tips on how to fill myself with that, please let me know. Because your girl is a planner, and when I can't make plans, I become a worrier. And it's not a good place to be. So I'm really just trying to soak in that no one knows what's going on. Life is very confusing, and that's fine because it will end up exactly as it is meant to end up. I think eventually my meanderings will lead me to the right answer, but right now, I'm trying to just focus on what I want right now. And right now, I want to pay my bills. I want to have money to save, and I want to like really try and figure out this freelancing thing. So if you guys would again subscribe and help get me closer to 1,000 subscribers, maybe I could monetize this channel and turn YouTube into another stream of income. Or, you know, you could just stay tuned. If me reopening my Etsy sounds like something that interests you, subscribe, stick around, and when it reopens, I will definitely tell you guys, and you can hop on and help me out. So again, this is all a process. It's all a process, and I don't even know what we're processing. I don't know what we're making. I'm putting something together, don't know what it is. I have no clue. But at the end, when it's all pieced together, I feel like all of this confusion, meandering, and all of these little steps will make more sense and come more together, and I'll have a pretty gorgeous, beautiful picture of my life at the end, and it'll all this worry will have been for naught. So I'm trying to just be chill. I encourage you guys to leave some comments down below. I respond to a good chunk of my comments, most of them. I read them all. I respond to most of them. So if you want to chat with me about this, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll get back to you on it. Or, you know, again, you guys can always chat with each other. I want to turn the comments, especially in my TMI videos, into a little discussion area because we're all here because we relate to each other. All of the like maybe 30 views I'm going to get on this video is 30 people feel my struggle and saw this video title, saw that thumbnail, and said, yeah, like that's giving me something. So I encourage you guys to go down below and just chat with each other about it because it's really confusing and it's really just discouraging when you feel alone in it. So I feel like us just creating a little tiny little piece of community on this idea of like what the hell even is a career can just invoke some camaraderie and some calm into all of our souls. You know, I encourage you guys to be okay with not knowing, as I am trying to be okay with not knowing, and just have a little bit of peace in your life. So I would love if you would chat with me about it down below. And again, this is TMI, so I don't have a pretty conclusion for you. I don't have all my ducks in a row. I haven't solved this problem. I'm still going to be stressed about it tomorrow, the next day, honestly, probably as soon as I turn off the camera. But like I said, I am trying. And so I want to leave you guys with some quotes, two things that I accepted as my mottos and my mantras and just something to hold on to for the year. And these are things I accepted before I got laid off, before I knew that any of this was going to happen, before I was feeling confused. Like, this was when I made my plan for the year and I was like, okay, I'm going to work my job for this amount of time, save this amount of money, go here, do that. Like, I had a plan, I was clear on everything. But this is still what I felt compelled to accept into my life as my like leading forces for the year. And boy, oh boy, have they come back around and am I in need of them? So I want to share them with you guys in case they might be helpful to you. So I'm going to read them off my screen. First one is life not more than food and the body not more than clothes? Well, let me read the whole thing. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, about your body, what you will wear. Is life not more than food? Is the body not more than clothes? Look at the birds in the air. They do not sow or reap or stow away in any barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Do not worry, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. This is Matthew 24 through 34 in the Bible. I'm not usually a Bible quotes girly, but Matthew was given. So just the summary of that for those of you who can't quite keep a long quote in your head long enough to like disseminate it. Bitch, calm down. Stop worrying. What are you worried about? What are you worried about? Like, you're over here so concerned about these little bills. Is life no more than bills? You are worried about every little thing when so far every little thing has worked out. And you've had your struggles, you've had your difficulties, but you're still alive, you're still breathing, you're still well. So what are you even worrying about? You're going to worry about tomorrow and the next day and the next day when you have to live out those days. You can worry about those days when you're experiencing them and when you're having that moment and you can get yourself out of that. Worrying about it now is not going to do anything for you. In fact, it's going to make it worse. worrying out a day to your life. No, it'll take days away. So stress, it's not good for the soul, Miss Girl. Stress clears up our eczema, Miss Girl. So leave it alone. My second quote, which is, more from me than any old text. I am in perfect synchronicity with my goals. I live for the moment and enjoy the process. And this was just a brief way for me to say, do what you're doing now. Worry about right now. Stop worrying about the future. You will get there when you get there. So both of these quotes and mottos that I've taken on for the year are really, really, really coming into play, and really something that I need to work on accepting and being comfortable with if I'm ever going to feel like calm or peace or just steadiness in my lack thereof career, or just general confusion about where I'm going or what I should be doing. So those are some things that I've taken along with me throughout the year and that I hope to continue to take, and I encourage you to take them as well, because this shit is hard. And I think we're all a bit lost at this point. But with that, I'd like to conclude today's TMI. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really do hope you will leave a comment and let us know how you're feeling about this topic, because again, the whole purpose of this is just relation, community, and conversation. If you are, interested in helping me out, I hope that you will subscribe to this channel, leave a like on this video so that YouTube can share it with more people who could also relate and take something away from it. And I hope you guys had a good time. I will see you all in the next video next Saturday. And until then, toodaloo.